Hello, once again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. Now, in this video, it's interesting. Mom wouldn't stop talking. Here's the deal. Mom wasn't on trial. She's not on trial. She's in Judge Webster's court trying to act as on the behalf of her son. So Judge Webster asks, how old is he? Well, he's whatever age. He's grown. What mom do? Oh, he's not that smart. Not paraphrasing. I'm not going off and saying that's what mom said. She didn't say her son was dumb. She just think that her son needed, help. This you do her son some justice. That's what we all want to see. Sometimes when the judge tell you to stop talking, you got to stop talking. If you don't have a P number, for people that don't know what a P number is, because I don't have a P number, right? I'm not a lawyer. But if you don't have a P number, you can't represent someone in court. Mom, stop. Nevertheless, let's dive into the video. Make sure you like this video after you hit the notification bell. You can support the channel through Cash App or Super Chat. And once again, we will see you in the next.
We're on the record in case number 2022 CR 276, State of Kansas versus Dakota Daniel Griffey. Please announce appearances.
Jerry McGee on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Dakota Griffey. Mr. Griffey does appear from Sallyport 2 video station. Your Honor, this is a warrant to show cause. I would announce to the court that Mr. Griffey.
I got something to say.
You want another breakout room?
Oh, I was seeing if I can get a new attorney.
Oh, okay. Well,
You want a new attorney?
I mean, I don't know.
What reason do you need a new attorney, Mr. Griffey?
Because speak up, my mental health, and if I get locked up again, Pawnee's gonna it's gonna start over, and then my whole process is gonna. It's just, I feel like they're not.
And you believe that another attorney might be able to do something this attorney isn't able to?
He's not willing to represent you the way you need to be represented.
Is someone giving you advice or conversation?
Oh.
Are you his mother?
Yes, I'm his mother. Hi, ma'am, I'm his mother. Dakota suffers from autism and ADHD, and he's not very good at social and voicing himself. He's saying that he does not want his attorney. He wants a new attorney because he refuses to represent him the way he wants and needs to be represented.
All right. What is your name for the record?
Deanne Garcia.
Spell that, please.
Deeann Garcia.
Capital A or small a?
It's a capital A. Surprisingly.
Garcia?
Yes.
And how old is Dakota?
He's 22.
Dakota is 22.
Sure.
And you feel you need to speak for him because of his autism?
No.
Yes, at times, because he can't voice himself properly. He has a hard time putting things into words.
Okay, well, that is why he has a very experienced legal counsel. Mr. Patterson has been at this a lot of years, and I suspect he probably can speak for Dakota from a legal standpoint more of Ms. Garcia than you probably can. If you're not an attorney, you may not be able to advise Dakota anyway.
I know the law, though, and I know what should be done and what hasn't been done, and I think it needs to be voiced, but his attorney is not wanting to voice that.
And you know the law? Did you go to law school?
No, but I do read a lot, and I keep up on it, especially when it involves me or my children.
What is your source that you read?
I read state statutes. I read the policies
so you
and
read
procedure
the
manuals.
Excuse me, you read the Kansas statutes annotated?
And the policies and procedure manuals. I do a lot of research.
All right.
I mean, it's up to Dakota.
I'm not inclined to give him another attorney because Mr. Patterson is
Okay.
one of our most experienced attorneys in this area. But I will give the two of you some more time in a breakout room. And I know, Mr. Patterson, you're probably like I am. Hey, if they don't want me, I just as soon go. But we've come this far. This is a case where Miss Garcia, are you still there where you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is a case where the defendant was charged with possession of stolen property with a value less than $1,500, a Class A misdemeanor.
I'm not just.
Hang on. He was alleged to have committed that act on July 27, 2022. And then he was charged and came before the court on that charge in July 29th of 2022. That's when Mr. Patterson, he pled not guilty and asked for an attorney, and Mr. Patterson was appointed. And on September 19th of 2022, the defendant with Mr. Patterson accepted a plea offer from the county attorney and was sentenced. There was no complaint about his services that I'm aware of at that time.
That's not what we're contesting.
All right. So Mr. Patterson was a competent attorney doing what you thought he should do at that time.
Well,
at least you didn't, the client didn't voice any concerns.
Because he can't voice himself and he's not.
It's hard to like get it out. Like
all right. Then
I wasn't there.
Okay. So then June 9th, 2023, his girlfriend called for him and wanted to know if he could appear by Zoom, and that was granted. June 14th, he came in for the first appearance on the warrant to show cause. This is his second show cause. Let's see. On September 11th of 2023, he appeared on a revocation hearing. Mr. Patterson was present and he was returned to probation. There was no complaint about Mr. Patterson's services then either. So nobody complained about his services at sentencing and plea September 19th or at revocation September 11th. Mr. Patterson's been with him from the get-go, and now we're here on a second warrant to show cause why his probation shouldn't be revoked on the allegations that the defendant failed to obey all federal, state, and local laws, and that he failed to pay all fines and costs associated with this case.
And his probation officer failed to do her job.
I'm giving you a little bit of leeway, ma'am, but you're not his attorney. He doesn't need his mom at 20.
You need to stay calm.
20, however years old he is. Okay, now, his probation officer alleging that is Sarah Wheeler. She's here and ready to testify to that, apparently. And then Mike Clark, the chief court service officer for the 2nd Judicial District of Kansas, has been supervising the defendant, apparently, and is here to testify to those allegations as well. So I don't know what goes on between attorney and client when they're not in court, and I shouldn't know. But I just know that there's never been any concerns or complaints about Mr. Patterson's service on this case to date.
Why don't you grab that chair and have a seat?
And so, Mr. Patterson, do you want to be heard on this?
Judge, you already stated what I would tell the court, that I am never opposed to somebody getting second opinion if that's what they're asking for. And if that's will make him feel like he's getting a fair shake, I'm fine with that. So I don't have any problems with that, Judge.
Is there any, like, is it possible that I get a new attorney to give me time to think on this and to work?
Can
Ma'am, stop.
you voice what the
Stop.
problem?
I'm going to find you in contempt. I will make you pay a fine or go to jail if you keep interrupting these proceedings. The young man is speaking fine for himself, and he has his attorney to speak for him as well. Please, Mr. Griffey, proceed with what you were wanting to say.
I was seeing if like we can get a new attorney.
And
Like,
I need you to speak up. Can you put that microphone in front of him, Deputy?
Speak right there.
okay.
And speak loudly now.
You got it.
I was seeing if I can get a new attorney to give me time to work on this matter a little bit more, if possible.
Are you wanting a new attorney to try to get in compliance with your probation? Is that what you mean?
Can you explain on that? I don't really understand what you
I'm
said.
just trying to understand what you're telling me. Why do you need more time? What would you do if you had more time?
The process was going on and to understand the outcomes.
Well,
I just don't know.
the outcomes were established at sentencing. You either go to jail or you succeed on probation. You were granted probation. It was determined September 11th of 2023 that you weren't succeeding on probation. The court then had the choice of putting you in jail again or giving you probation. The court gave you another chance on probation. That's twice the court could have put you in jail, but with Mr. Patterson as your attorney, you were able to overcome jail and get probation twice. Now they're saying that once again, you didn't do what you were supposed to do on probation. So again, what are the outcomes? Go to jail, be reinstated on probation. You've had two chances at that. The court will have to determine after hearing the statements and evidence whether you get a third chance or not. And those are the possible outcomes. Do you have any questions about that, Mr. Griffey? If you do, please say so.
Judge, if it would help, I would attempt another breakout room.
Would you like to talk to Mr. Patterson again? You don't have to if you don't want to, but you're welcome to if you do. All right, you're just wanting another attorney and some time to try to get your probation in order. Am I understanding you clearly? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Mr. Patterson is probably the most experienced attorney in this area that ever appears before this court. I don't know why it would make sense to appoint someone else, but if you want a chance to hire someone else, I would entertain that, but I wouldn't give you much time because you've already been on this probation since 2022 or early 23.
I understand, Your Honor.
Are you telling me that you can go out and hire someone else?
I mean, I can.
Do you have the money to do that?
No.
No? So what are you wanting me to do? Discharge Mr. Patterson and bring in another court-appointed attorney?
Yeah, if it's possible.
What if you don't like what that attorney says?
Well, I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that I did the crime and I have to do the time.
All right, so you don't want to take the word of our most experienced attorneys, and you want me to appoint one that is less experienced, and you will take the word of the other attorney. And I'm not putting down the other attorneys. The other attorneys do a fine job. We've got we're very blessed to have good attorneys in this district.
I understand.
They're very good. I don't know if any other attorney can get you the results that you're wanting that you think Mr. Patterson couldn't. Well, why don't I give you and Mr. Patterson kind of a one last breakout room? Maybe it can be your farewell visit if that's what the outcome is today. I'm not saying it will be. All right. Will you do that, or do you not want to go into the breakout room? If you don't even want to talk to him again, I'm not going to make you.
How much time would you give till my next? I don't know how
Well,
to say this. I don't know how to say this.
I don't want you manipulating me here, sir.
know
I don't want you saying I'm looking for an attorney when I'm really just trying to buy time to pay off my case and
It's not
start
that.
reporting again and things like that. I mean, if you violated the law like it says in another jurisdiction, there's no getting around that either, unless you're trying to get that dismissed or something. But I think from what you told me a while ago, you may be just trying to manipulate me to get a longer hearing, and I don't want you using this as a chance to pack your bags and run.
It's not that. I'm not
And that reminds me, weren't you told to appear at the courthouse today?
I am
Are you at the courthouse? You are, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
All right,
Yes,
very good. Okay. Well, you take a breakout room with Mr. Patterson, come back, and we'll wrap this up one way or the other on the attorney.
No,
So, Missy, if you would, please put Mr. Patterson and the defendant back.
If I may, in doing that, if I could have an attorney-client conversation so that the room that he's in is cleared.
So we would need to remove his mother, the deputy, anyone else. Is that right?
Yes, Judge.
And I think that's appropriate because we've never had any problems before with your communication. All right, so let's do that, Missy, but then they're going to need to, everyone in that room is going to need to leave and shut the door so the communications remain private, Deputy. Mr. Griffey, do we have Deputy Caulfield and your mother back?
My mom's not in here.
Well, if you want her, why don't you step out there and tell her she can come back in?
Deputy Cofield is here, Judge.
Thank you. Do you want your mom in the courtroom or not?
She went out to the car, apparently.
Do you want her in the courtroom or not?
Yes.
And Judge, it might be fairly quick anyway with my announcement I have.
All right. Well, do you want to get your mother back in here before we start?
That's
And
fine.
did you tell me you're 22 or 25?
22.
22. Okay. Did you graduate from high school?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you employed right now? Are you on any kind of financial disability?
I'm getting there. I'm in services. I'm just waiting.
Okay, so you've filed for disability, but it hasn't been determined yet?
Yeah.
Okay. You haven't done any college,
Mhm.
trade school?
No.
Since you graduated from high school, the last 4 years you've spent at home with mom?
No, I've done construction and with my stepdad.
Okay, so you've worked with your stepdad doing construction?
Yeah.
You
And
still
then,
is he still your stepdad?
yeah.
Okay, and are you still working for him?
No, not at the moment.
All right, is his mother on her way back in? Anybody know?
No, she went out to the car.
You don't think she's coming back in?
Mhm.
And you want to proceed? Or do you
Yeah.
want me to wait? I'll go either way.
Okay, we can proceed.
Say that again, please.
We can proceed.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, Mr. Patterson, I don't know what your position is going to be, but we are back on the record in 2022 CR 276, State of Kansas versus Dakota Daniel Griffey. all parties as before. I have given the defendant and his attorney a private breakout room. I did ask the mother to step out to give them attorney-client privilege. Apparently, she's gone to the car, and somehow Mr. Griffey knows she went to the car, and I've given him a chance to wait for her to come back in. But Mr. Griffey, on the record, you want me to proceed? You don't want to wait for your mom?
Don't want to wait.
Okay. Well, understand, I'd be happy to wait for her to come back if you want me to do that. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you want to go ahead. All right. We left off with Mr. Griffey thinking that he needed more time and he wanted to get a different attorney, even though he's had Mr. Patterson for the duration of this case at several hearings. Mr. Patterson, you said you had a brief announcement.
Judge, I can tell the court that the breakout room was not fruitful in the discussion between me and Mr. Griffey, that the communication has broken down to the point I am unable to advise him properly. And I think pursuant to case law, I would have to ask the court at this time to withdraw and have alternate counsel appointed.
All right. And Mr. Griffey, you're not able to afford counsel at this time either? You're still seeking court appointed, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I will appoint additional counsel. I will let's see, Destiny. I'm thinking maybe go to Chris Pate, but I don't want to delay this very long, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm assuming Mr. Andrews probably wouldn't want to take this case. So I'm thinking Chris Pate maybe, and have no idea what his schedule looks like, but I don't want to keep putting this off either. So what do we have in about 2 weeks?
Let me see here, Judge. And are you wanting it on a Monday or do you want to put it on a bench trial again?
I think a bench trial where we have more time if we can. I don't really want to do this in the middle of a busy Monday docket.
Okay. In 2 weeks, I do have an opening on the 31st of July.
Okay. Can one of you check with Mr. Pate real quick, either Missy or Destiny, and see if he'll be available then? Now, Mr. Griffey, you and your mother today have given an impression that you suffer significantly or severely from autism, and that maybe you have trouble understanding legal concepts. But when I look back at your record in the state computer system, all right, I'm showing that in 2011, CR 424, okay, you were a witness in Spencer Powell case, but on your own behalf, I'm showing 2020 CR 99, State of Kansas versus Dakota Daniel Griffey, theft, guilty plea, theft of property or services, guilty plea. Now that was in 2020.
Good.
And it looks like you've got something pending there. So are you looking at a revocation in another case and maybe another county?
What does revocation mean?
Warrant to show cause? Then, well, it doesn't matter. Then in 2020 CR 111, you have a disposition for criminal damage to property. In 21 CR 100, you had a lewd and lascivious public sexual relations in the presence of a person. Then in 2022 CR 276, possession of stolen property, that's this case. Then, and as I said, you appeared multiple times with Mr. Patterson, even at sentencing and a prior warrant to show cause in which he was able to keep you out of jail a second time. I have MN 2020 TR 556, violating the speed limit. Looks like that's still possibly open. FT or PT 2023 TR 506, driving while canceled, suspended, or revoked and speeding. That offense date was November 27, 23. It looks like that's still open. Another PT, I assume that's Pratt County, 2023. That involves domestic battery with the family member. PT 2024 CR4, allegations that these occurred 2/10 of 23. Burglary of a non-dwelling, burglary of a vehicle, burglary of a vehicle, burglary of a vehicle, theft, 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 criminal damage to property, criminal damage to property, criminal damage to property, criminal damage to property. All of those charges showing an offense date of 2/10 of 23. You have RI, or I think that's RI, might be RL, 2022 CR 29, battery, disposition, guilty plea, 11/28 of 22. WB, I assume that's Wabunsee County, 23 CR 91, domestic battery, offense date 10/3/23, disposition. I'm not sure what the designation codes are. So, and then there are some other cases of some other matters that I didn't mention. But what your history tells me is that you have been to court many, many, many times. And have you ever been determined incompetent to stand trial in any of those cases?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Oh, I think you'd remember. Were you ever ordered to go to a state mental hospital or anything like that as a result of these cases?
Yeah.
Okay. Which judge, how many judges sent you to a state hospital because you're incompetent to stand trial?
One, I think.
Miss Wheeler, is his probation officer, are you familiar with his criminal history?
I am, Your Honor.
And do you know of any courts finding that he was incompetent to stand trial?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Judge, I can probably help with that.
All right, Mr. Patterson.
Judge, in my discussions with him and his mother, it was pretty clear that he did have a time that he went to Osawatomie while he was in jail. I can't remember which jail it was, but it was a care and treatment that they did, that he was there for a period of time, October 7, 2023 to October 17, 2023. So it was a care and treatment case, not a competency.
Okay. All right. So that was something civil and private, not related to your criminal cases. And as I said, you've been in this court system for a long time now, and there's never been any indication that you were mentally ill or that your autism was interfering with your ability to aid in your defense. I didn't hear any complaints about your representation. I didn't hear any complaints about the results of the services provided. I'm just now on your second warrant to show cause hearing, hearing your complaints that you don't think Mr. Patterson's doing what you want him to do. And I don't know what that means, but I'm going to grant your request for another attorney. And I want you to call that attorney. Start calling him today and call him every day until you get through to him. Attorneys are very busy people, and they're not just sitting by their phone waiting for you to call. So you keep after that. I'm not going to continue this warrant to show cause. I set it over to today so you could have representation and you could have an evidentiary hearing if you wanted to do that. But you can see we've taken a lot of extra care and time today, trying hard to get you what you're wanting, another attorney, but yet still move along the proceedings. So is there anything else we can do for you today, Mr. Griffey?
No,
Short of just dismissing the case and walking away, and that's not going to happen. Is there anything legally you need us to do for you today?
no, Your Honor.
Okay. You are on bond. I will.
Your Honor, he's still reporting to Chief Court Services Officer Mike Clark that's on Zoom still. He has an appointment with him for next week. So I would ask that Your Honor order that he make sure he appear as scheduled with Chief Officer Clark.
That will be the order. Make sure you follow all court orders, and that is to meet with Mr. Mike Clark at the time he's told you to meet him.
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
any other time he tells you to meet him.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
the state would respectfully have it noted on the record that while certainly constitutionally the defendant is entitled to have representation, the state does have concerns about this matter being continued. Yet again, I am showing based off my records, not only is this the second warrant to show cause, but the July 31st setting, if that is the order of the court, that will be the fifth setting on this particular warrant to show cause, including a first appearance on the warrant to show cause before Judge Hart back in March of 2024. Additionally, if the court is preparing to proceed with court-appointed counsel William McClendon in this matter, the state would be requesting a ruling under KSA 224511 subsection C.
You have to tell me what that statute says, which one that is.
Quote, the court having jurisdiction of the case may, in the interest of justice, substitute one appointed counsel for another at any stage of the proceedings.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Now, we need to get this resolved, and you've already bought yourself a lot of time. You failed to appear July 10th. Then you showed up with a bad connection, and we just need to get this done. You have to be at the courthouse again. You've managed to have a lot of breaks, sir. And at some point, sometimes people do have to be responsible. What is his status on that warrant? Are you showing that he made the last bond? Because I'm showing an open $2,500 bond, but I'm not showing an open warrant. That would have been the bond.
What I can tell the court is that I am showing an appearance bond in the file for $2,500 surety. It looks like the appearance date on that is March 6, 2024. And I am showing that would have been, well, counting today's hearing, 4 hearings ago for the word show cause first appearance.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for your time. Mr. Griffey, continued on that bond, but don't violate it.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You may go at this time.
All right, so thank you for all who sat through this video. I honestly got a chance to see just like a little gnat, like a swarm. You ever walk through a swarm of gnats and then you just start swinging at the air, and people just think that you just swinging at stuff, but honestly, you swinging at the gnats. That's how mom was. She was just like a gnat. You cannot represent your son. You don't have a P number. Stand down. Even if you got a P number, sometimes it's unethical to try to represent your son. So even if mom had a P number, it still ain't. It isn't ethical. I got to say things right. I got the speech impediment police out there. But nevertheless, put it in the comments. Tell us how you feel about this. This is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We are on the road to 10,000. We dropping heat every day. We try to at least drop one video every day on this channel. So nevertheless, thank you again for subscribing. Thank you for supporting the channel through liking, Cash App, Super Chat. And once again, we will see you in the next